Take me through the mechanics first.
Yeah.
When did you guys know that you wanted to have kids?
It's something I've always wanted to do.
We've never not wanted to have kids.
Yeah.
Did it come up very soon after you got together?
Very soon.
Yeah. A few weeks in, it was a deal breaker.
Really?
Yes, because my previous partner, I was in a relationship for 12 years, absolutely against having kids.
Really?
So when you look around, I'm just going, if I get the chance, this is what I want to do. And it was like, oh, I've always wanted to have kids.
Yeah.
And 6 weeks later, I went, bing. I thought, oh no, he needs have, not co-parent, because that's where mine was.
It's something I've always wanted to do. I've always had in the back of my mind that I will have children.
To be a dad. You kind of just knew.
Yeah.
And then what happens next? What's the next step?
Well, you start working out, well, how can you make this work? And that's when 3.5 years of research went into just getting online, looking to America, where it's the only option that you can go for.
What were some of the other options that you looked at that you discarded, that you sort of rejected before settling on India and the way you did it?
It was always surrogacy, mainly from a control point of view.
And because neither of you had a uterus.
Yeah, neither of us had a uterus.
Details.
Took 3.5 years to establish that online.
Adoption is not an option for us.
Why is that?
It's illegal for
same-sex couples.
Why is that?
Well,
in Australia or anywhere in the world?
No, in Australia. Same-sex couples cannot adopt.
Is it possible to adopt from overseas as a same-sex couple?
No, I don't believe so. We had a lot of female friends say, look, we think you'll be a great dad, I'm happy to be a surrogate for you.
Yeah.
But the complications and the biggest fear of, what if that person couldn't let you have the child? We couldn't have put ourselves through all of that emotional energy. One of the things that people forget is they say, well, why didn't they just adopt? Well, we can't adopt.
Yeah.
But given the chance, there are enough children in this world that need a good home. And we would have rather have given a good home to a child that needed it. This is... But we couldn't. So this is the option.
Let's take past the Where are you going? So many decisions. You have to choose where you find a uterus, where you find eggs, sperm.
Yeah, so you overthink. And for us, we just wanted to have... We thought Australian sun, a bit of pigment in their skin.
Yeah.
We didn't want them to have be pasty palms like me.
And how did you decide who's first?
We actually had 2 surrogates initially pregnant.
Did you?
One took, one didn't.
And you don't know which is which?
No, you have to, because you have to do a DNA test. So the biological father does a DNA test here in Australia.
Yeah.
When you're in India, you do one on the baby. That comes back as saying it's your child.
Right.
You then get citizenship by descent. You then get a passport for them.
Right.
You then bring them home. It sounds simple, but it's about 3 weeks of bureaucracy on top of having the girls.
Yeah. Or while dealing with newborn twins.
In 48 degrees.
Were they meant to be twins? Yes, they're not identical, so 2 embryos were implanted?
It all depends on, and this is a mistake that people make, some people want to put in too many embryos, and if you have too many embryos, you've got to start talking about reductions. And that's when it gets really difficult, so that's why we've spent so much time coaching people on what this actually means. So
when you say coaching people, you talk to other couples who are thinking about it, gay couples, straight couples,
everyone. The process is simple. We've had enough people that do it now, but it's just understand what your options are, comparing the packages that the hospitals have. Some hospitals charge you a premium just to have a whole collection of eggs.
Right.
And really, if you get a small collection, you're reducing your chances. Everything is, if you play with this, this might come out. If you put too much embryos in, you may be faced with having a reduction.
And were 2 embryos implanted? One surrogate?
No, we had 2. We actually had an English friend who's half Pakistani who actually who wanted to be our egg donor. She's the niece of a very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
I've known for over 20 years.
Wow.
And we kept sort of saying, oh no thanks. We'll talk about this later. But as it turned out...
She was always very flippant about it, after a few drinks. It was like, I'm never going to have kids, I'm not going to use my eggs. So here, you take them. And it was like...
Take them now!
And it was always very flippant and throwaway. We still took her seriously. And as it turned out that she didn't actually have enough eggs.
Right.
And we then still had to go down an egg donor route.
Right.
And...
the original plan was that we would get the eggs, we would separate them into two halves, fertilise one dish each, for want of a better term, and implant 2 surrogates. So we would have The original plan was to have twins.
Did you feel competitive?
But one of each.
No, not the slightest.
But unfortunately, there were not enough eggs from our friend to be able to do the half and half.
Right.
And so we had half an hour to make a decision as to what we wanted to do.
Oh my god, that's very intense.
It is intense, especially as we'd already left sperm samples in India, and Pete only went there to meet our egg donor. So he was in India, I was here, I was between meetings, and I just said, okay, call me back in 10 minutes. I made 2 calls to 2 girlfriends, just like a TV show.
Yeah.
And I went...
Phone a friend, it's like anything.
Phone a friend, I said, right, I don't care what you're doing, I need 2 minutes, I'm going to tell you a story, and I want your answer.
Tell me what to do.
And both of them came back exactly the same and said, buy the other batch of eggs, and this is what you've always wanted. You've wanted 2 children. You don't. It wouldn't have worried us if only one of us got a chance to be a biological father.
Yeah.
It's really raising the children is the important thing. They're our children, and that's...
Yeah, of course. Like anyone.
And I think a lot of when you grow up in a society where, you're gay, you tend to make your own families. You have to rethink things. You have to relearn things. Times are really changing. I'm really hopeful that we're on the downhill slide now for all the final rights.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Right now, one of the things is the girls are essentially one of our children.
Yeah.
Baby R that's coming will be one of our children.
Okay, so tell me about your news.
Well, we're having a baby.
Craving?
So, no. Baby